What's up, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here with this week's episode of What's New at TW. It's a very exciting week. It is the first ICAST edition of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. Now, I know we are a week early from the show, but what that means is all this stuff is all early release ICAST products that's actually available. It's in stock. You can buy it right now. So you can get ahead of the rush and not wait till everyone jumps on to the page during ICAST time and starts buying all this stuff up. You can get it right now in stock while we got it. Bunch of stuff from a bunch of different vendors. The first one we're gonna go over is this new jerkbait from Baitsanity. This is one of the coolest things I've got to see all year out of all the ICAST products. This new Explorer BCS 120 jerkbait. Super innovative design and things are going on that I've seen in no other jerkbait out there on the market. So first and foremost, in the middle here is, if you can see that, they have this new modular, this patented clip kind of modular weight change system. So what that means is it's gonna come with this little container with these different weights inside of it that you can actually change out on the inside of the bait. So on the inside of the bait, you can snap these different weights in place and adjust your sink rate. So now you can fish all levels of the water column with one bait and be able to adjust it on the fly. Because, I mean, if you fish a lot of jerkbaits, if you're like me, you have a box full of them that you have floating ones, suspending, slow sinking, suspending, fast sinking, just to be able to cover all your bases. Now, Baitsanity is giving you an option you can have one bait, but different weight options to be able to cover the entire section of the water column. It is really, really cool, something innovative and something different that they've done. Also, this bait, it's got 3 just insanely sharp BKK treble hooks on it, and it actually comes with treble protectors on it right out of the package, and they recommend make sure you put these things on when you're changing the weights out, because one slip when you're trying to move change your weight system out and you hit one of those hooks, you're definitely getting a hook in your hand, so make sure you use the protectors when you're doing that. But something cool, just gives you the ability to, take up a lot less space in your jerkbait box and not have to remember, what bait's sinking, what bait's floating, what's suspending, all that different stuff. And jerkbaits are kind of a finicky bait in itself in general. You might buy a suspending jerkbait, but that doesn't mean it's going to suspend in every single water temperature, and you have to change your hooks out and add suspend dots to really get those things to work right in variable water conditions. This giving you tools to adjust on the fly for all conditions. Really cool bait there from Baitsanity. From Hobie, new pair of sunglasses. They're entering this for their best of show submission. These are the new Eddy floats. The first thing I can say about these sunglasses is how insanely lightweight they are. So super, super comfortable. Nice rubber gaskets on here so they hold onto your head really well. No matter if it's 110 degrees outside and it's humid and you're sweating, these are gonna hold on. And then with that frameless design, it's so much more lightweight. Premium polarized sunglasses, and they float. So you don't have to worry about if you knock them off your head, knock them off the side of your boat, your kayak or something, they're gonna float in the water and you'll be able to get them back. So really cool pair of sunglasses. Maybe someone will finally dethrone Costa this year. All right, next up, let's go over some soft baits. One of them we covered with our buddies over from Daiwa Evergreen. We have an interview coming up with them. It's gonna launch day 1 ICAST, so make sure you stay tuned for that. The new Last Ace 128, really cool soft plastic minnow style bait. And we are gonna see a ton of these this year, so prepare yourselves. So at ICAST, tons and tons of minnow baits, but this one, one of the better ones I've seen throughout the year. Highly realistic 3D eyes, really cool colors, and one thing I did notice, they didn't overdo it with the blue flake and stuff that they put inside there. Really kept the colors subtle, really finessey, highly realistic. I love the shape of this bait and then the tail on there. Tons of action, so gonna be great for all the minnow style fishing, but also gonna be a great option for your scrounger fishing. One thing that I definitely wanna try is maybe a vibrating jig, a chatterbait without a skirt on it, and put that on there. Gonna be another great option. Fish it with a regular EWG hook like you would a weightless soft plastic jerkbait. Tons of cool options. The new Last Ace 128, you can buy them right now. And going down from that was a 5-inch bait. Going down in size, from Gamakatsu, we got the new Fish Fly. Now this is the bigger of the 2 sizes. This is the 2.4, and we also have a 2-inch. So tiny, tiny, tiny little baits, but it really reminds me of a small bait fish, soft plastic. I used to fish a lot probably a decade ago, but they've been off the market for a long time. Deadly, absolutely deadly little drop shot bait, especially, you know, a small little nose hook for clear water fisheries. When they're on those little tiny bait fish, sometimes it's so hard to really mimic a small bait fish, a small, you know, 1.5 or 2-inch size shad. This is definitely going to do it for you. And then of course, you know, any of those small tungsten ball heads, you know, that really have the appropriate size hook for that, going to be deadly for all those types of minnow applications. But even if you go down to the small 2-inch size, also going to be a great crappie bait too. So highly realistic, really cool little minnow bait. Got a ton of great colors, and the finish on these is just phenomenal and really looks like just a live shad in the water. Next up from Reins, getting into another category of baits here. We got the umbrella wire creature bait. So I guess this kind of falls into the category of the dice baits that's becoming more and more popular. So we have a few of them, and there's a few more of them coming out at ICAST this year. But on this one, the actual, I guess the dice part of it, the middle part of it is a lot smaller, and the tentacles are a lot bigger. So the profile of it is actually, it's kind of a bigger profile because these tentacles are so thick and much larger. So a little bit different than some of the other dice baits out there, and it seems like every day hearing more and more about it. I still have yet to try it myself, but something that seems super interesting, one for bed fishing, and then others in really tough fisheries. And out here, especially where we live in California, we know a thing or two about having tough fisheries. The lakes get beat up all the time, and you always have to kind of, you know, try something else and downsize your tackle to really trigger some bites. But fishing weightless, you know, they slowly sink, totally unique presentation. But you can also throw them on a drop shot. You can insert little nail weights in them to get them to sink faster. A bunch of cool stuff you can do with it, but now another dice option available on the market. A couple of baits from Grassroots. So this first one I want to talk about is the Grassroots Runabout 210. So we have two models. There's a waking model and then the regular model. So the difference is the wake model is about a 1/4 ounce slider. So it does just stay up higher in the water column, but a super unique bait in the fact that there's a bunch of different stuff you can do with it, and it's highly customizable. So the joint system right here, you can take this screw out, and if you can see on that joint, there's actually more slots on there. So you can actually adjust this joint to have a wider or tighter motion. So giving the bait less freedom of movement, so you can move it in or out to get it to tune the action the way that you want it. The other thing that you can do with it is it comes with different bills. So the shorter bill is only going to get you maybe 4 to 5 feet in the water column. The larger bill will get you down maybe 8 or 10 feet. You can also fish it without a bill. So if you want to run it high in the water column, you want to run, you know, a certain depth range, 4 to 5 feet, you run it 8 to 10. You can pretty much do whatever you want. If you really want to run it deeper, you can add a weight to the front there, but there is an accessory eyelet on there. It actually also comes with a blade. So if you want to add flash to it, but there's no reason why you can't add a weight in there as well. That front hook hanger has got a swiveling line tie or swivel embedded into the body, so that fish have less leverage on you. But there's a bunch of really cool colors. Comes with great hardware. It comes with decoy hooks. Just something that just gives you the option to kind of get one bait and kind of attack different areas of the water column and give you the ability to change up your presentation the way you want it to swim, the way you want it to, or the depth you want to run it into. Really cool bait there from Grassroots. The other thing they got is this little crankbait. I believe it's the Run Bit. That's the name of it. So when I saw this crank, I really liked the size of it, the shape, and the profile. And then when we were checking it out, the body shape of this bait and then that circuit board bill and the way they've designed this crankbait and the way they've weighted it, it has a really aggressive rolling action to it. So if you're looking for that bait that's gonna, you know, dig around in shallow water, dig and bounce and deflect off cover really well, but have that really aggressive rolling action, that's going to be one you want to check out. Again, quality hardware all the way around, really great colors, really cool crankbait there from Grassroots. Now, let's hit on some terminal stuff. So there's going to be a bunch of new terminal products that come out this year. And the first couple that we got that are in stock that we've gotten are from Hayabusa and Gamakatsu. The first one is the Hayabusa, that's the multi-use jig head. We used to have these a long time ago, and we got them to bring them back. Just a phenomenal jig head. Hayabusa hooks are crazy sharp, and you always get just a great quality product at a great price with all the Hayabusa stuff. And we've got a bunch of sizes with different size hook options. So if you're really trying to tune it in to a specific size of bait, you can pretty much do that with these jig heads. And then these hooks, these new hooks are pretty interesting. Just something that's kind of filling some of the gaps that are in the market. The first one is the narrow gap. And when I first saw this hook, it's kind of like an in-between of your regular wide gap hook, or extra wide gap hook, I should say, and then like a offset round bend. So it's kind of that in between, and it's going to be really good for, you know, those certain baits that it just the extra wide gap, the EWG is just too much hook, and then, you know, obviously not enough when you go to a regular offset round bend. Just something that's a little bit unique and just fits those gaps where you really need that in between hook size or that gap for just certain size baits. I think it's going to be great for your soft plastic jerk baits and flukes and things like that. Really cool, super sharp hook there from Hayabusa. And then the CrossSpread Offset hook. Now this one's got a unique shape as well. That deep bend in it, they've really designed this hook specifically for the high density soft plastics, or some people call them the poop style baits. Those really small stick baits that are, you know, really thick and made out of that heavily salted material that, that you're supposed to fish on a weightless hook, but you fish them down 15, 20, 25 feet of water. This is a perfect hook for that. So if you're trying to fish those baits like some of the heavy poop, the cover scat, the Yamatanuki bait, all those styles of baits, this is a perfect hook for that. From Gamakatsu, a couple really cool things here. The first one here, designed by the legend himself, Bill Dance. So, I mean, Bill Dance has caught a fish or two in his lifetime, and this is a Bill Dance design. So it's a crankbait circle hook. So what this is designed to do, it's got an inline line tie so that it sits vertically in line with your crankbait. So it's gonna fish in line and not off to the side, left or right, like how a normal circle hook would. But what this is supposed to do is you replace the treble hooks on your crankbait and you run these circle hooks with both the points facing backwards, and you're able to fish a crankbait through grass and cover like you've never been able to do with a crankbait. If you've ever cranked for any amount of time, you know that, you know, you try to get it right next to that clump of grass or brush pile or something like that, and, you know, it's inevitable you're going to snag one treble hook on it. This is going to eliminate a lot of those snags and just allow you to fish crankbaits where you've never been able to fish crankbaits before. So I'm really excited to try these out. These just came into stock. I'm definitely going to buy some and put them on some of my square bills that I know that I want to run through some heavy cover and through grass and stuff like that and see how it actually performs. I'm super pumped to try these out. And with a circle hook, you know, once they get that hook in them, it's hard for them to shake that hook. So once they get hooked up, you're going to land a lot more fish than a treble hook as well. So something to try out, something a little different, and just throw your cranks in places you've never been able to do it before either. And then this new worm hook, the Hydra Roll. What's cool about this hook, as you can see, it's got a swivel embedded into the eyelet. I'm super pumped to try this one out, especially for soft plastic jerkbaits, flukes and stuff. Something that I'm twitching a lot, and I'm moving the bait a lot, and if you're reeling it in, it spins a lot. Stuff that's weightless. I'm super stoked to try this. So it's got that swivel embedded into the line tie, and not only is it going to eliminate the line twist, but I think it's going to help just add that little tiny bit of weight just to keep like a fluke or something nose down when you're twitching it. Just that little bit of weight will just help that thing, you know, keep it nose down, and keep it from popping up out of the surface and able to just maintain the strike zone a little bit better. But really cool hook there from Gamakatsu. Can't wait to try that one out as well. And then they've got a couple of jigs that they brought over from Japan. They were previously only available in the JDM market. Now they're available to us. This first one is the Lux Cobra jig. I really like this jig. The head shape on it, I would call this like a modified Arky head. But yeah, it's shaped like a King Cobra head. But that, you know, that nice wide shape on there and that vertical line tie, it's made to come up and over cover really well. Heavy duty weed guard on there. And then with these Gamakatsu jigs, they come with a premium Gamakatsu Nano Alpha coated hook on there. So it has that slick finish. It's got a wide gap but a short shank, so you're getting a lot of bite on there, but it still maintains that compact profile. Down on the shank, you got a double wire keeper, and then all the skirts are hand tied, which is awesome. I'm a super big fan of hand tied skirts. Just get better action out of it, and then unmatched durability as well. And then the Swimming Shot Neo swim jig. So on this one, they kind of cut the bottom half of the skirt out, so you have a more thinned out skirt, still hand tied, but a more pointed, more arrowhead shaped head on there, and then a much lighter weed guard as well to come through cover. This one, longer shank hook because you're going to be running, most likely some sort of soft plastic swim bait. So you got a little bit longer hook just to match up the size of a swim bait and get that hook farther back in the body, kind of where you want that hook point, and eliminate short striking fish that are coming up and nipping at a swim jig, since you're going to be moving it a lot quicker than flipping into a hole with a flipping jig. Again, the double wire keeper on there, some phenomenal colors, but some really high quality jigs from Gamakatsu that we just got into stock. And the last one, pretty excited about these as well, even though it's just a pair of scissors, but these are actually made out of ceramic. So they have serrated edge on one side, so it cuts through any line type, monofluoro, braid. You can cut saltwater lines with this, heavy duty saltwater lines, but since it's ceramic, completely rust free. Super excited to put these in my kayak, doing ocean fishing, not have to worry about rusting these things out, and then having a pair of scissors that performs better than steel, cuts through stuff. It maintains that blade sharpness longer than steel, but you're not going to have any rust with it. Really cool scissors there by Gamakatsu. I think they're only $16.99 as well. From VMC, the new tungsten the tungsten moon eye jig head. So there's gonna be a lot of tungsten jig heads out on the market. VMC's got this one, and it's got that same proven shape that they've had for years and years. It's kind of an aspirin style shape. So it's kind of like a round. You get that round ball, bigger profile from this side, but it's kind of flattened on the eye sides. So it does sink a little bit faster than your normal ball head jig, but it's tungsten. So help with all the sonar guys out there, help get a little bit better return on your sonar units. It's got that 4-barb keeper on there, but if you're just fishing, tungsten is always better than the lead head. It's going to give you more, that little bit smaller profile than you would with equivocal lead, but also the sensitivity is unmatched from lead. So fish tungsten head, when you're dragging along the bottom, you can feel every little thing that's down there. Really nice jig heads, 3D eyes, razor sharp VMC hook, so great little jig head there from VMC. I think that's everything right here on the table. The last thing we're gonna go over is a few series of rods. And like I said, we did an interview with our buddies from Daiwa, and we went over all of the new Daiwa ICAST stuff, and that interview is gonna drop the first morning of ICAST, so you'll be able to get a more in-depth look at all that stuff. We're just gonna give you a quick little overview of a couple things that just came into the stock. So in the Ardito series, we got 3 different new series of travel rods, this being one of them. And they're really giving you guys just a high quality travel rod that's, you're getting a high quality rod just better for the traveling angler. Traditionally, a lot of the travel rods out there on the market, not crazy high-end blanks. And now, people want a nice rod to go travel with and make it easy to travel with. So this first Ardito series, this one, it actually has the tube that protects the rod. You actually unscrew it, and then you put it down here, and it becomes the handle. Kind of an ingenious design, so you completely protect the upper end of the rod where the blank and the guides are at, and then it's a telescoping rod. So extends out. We got these in casting and spinning. And if you're more of a traditional angler, want something a little bit more than the traditional side, they have another telescoping rod with a full cork handle. But this one comes with kind of a semi-rigid soft case. Again, it packs down. I believe it's only 19 inches, so easily fits into a carry-on or a backpack or something like that. Has foam up here up at the top, so it really protects those guides and everything out there, just to make sure the most critical part of the rod is fully protected, but extends out. And super high quality rods. They all have their the X45 Daiwa technology in them. They also got the HVF graphite, Fuji components, so they're not skimping on the rod, so you're gonna get great sensitivity, super lightweight, super durable. And the last one they got is just a regular multi-piece rod. So comes in 4 pieces, again, casting, spinning. This one kind of has the look of kind of one of the Steez rods they got with those red and black anodized reel seats on there. Super comfortable reel seats, custom Daiwa reel seats, red and black wraps up to the guides. Really sharp looking rod. Got them in spinning casting, and this one comes with kind of this semi-rigid case on the side. It actually has a little bit of hardness to it, so protects that rod, keeps it contained. I think this one comes in 25 inches if you're wondering about the size for it. And then the last one we got is the new TD Soul inshore spinning rods. So they also got a reel that's coming out that will match this rod as well. So on this series of rods, it's an updated version of their last series, X45, and it's got the HVF Nano Plus graphite technology. So crazy lightweight, super strong, and crazy durable. So if you're doing a little bit of inshore fishing and you do a little freshwater bass fishing, you do some cat fishing, whatever, this is a great rod for that. If you're a multi-species angler, they kind of have generalized actions. There it comes in 7 and 7.5 foot. I believe we got them in medium light, medium heavy. So kind of a generalized set of actions. But if you're looking for just a spinning rod that you can do just about everything with, this is the one I would check out. Got great colors on them, great cork handles, and like I said, they have a reel that actually perfectly matches all the accents on this rod. So it would be a great setup if you're looking for one rod that can pretty much handle anything from your snook and redfish and flounder and stuff like that, but then also go, throw a worm around for some bass. That'd be a great option. So that's going to wrap up today's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. Again, this is all ICAST early release products available to buy now. And coming up the first day of ICAST, don't want to miss out on our coverage. We're doing a bunch of different stuff this year. We're doing our traditional style videos. We're going to run around and do some different stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoy the coverage. We got stuff dropping day one of ICAST that we've already gotten from a few of the brands out there. So tons of different outlets of coverage this year. We're changing it up. Let us know how you like it, and hope you guys enjoy ICAST.